Hello everybody and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. This is our Frost Fatales 2024 bonus stream. And before we get into our second run of the day, just a quick reminder, if you did miss out on any of our other events, especially Frost Fatales 2024, you can go to the youtube.com/gamesdonequick. You can check out all of our past broadcasts and events there. With that said, we have our second game of the day. It's a Chrono Trigger randomizer. I will hand it over to our runner. Let her introduce herself in the game.
Hi everybody, I'm GrayGooGirl, and today I'm going to be running for you Chrono Trigger Jets of Time. It's a fun little randomizer, takes the standard formula for RPG randomizers and kind of turns it on its head a little bit, so let me just get on in here and do a little bit of configuration. Except for our combat type. Starting character is going to be Frog and Luca. And time for this will start as soon as we get control of the ship. We're going to... It'll take a second for it to process through. But yeah, as soon as we get in there, I'll start explaining some of the routing logic and why this particular game is just so interesting in the way it's designed compared to other RPG randomizers. It does have a little bit of a start time to it. Alright, so time will be starting in... Starting right about... now. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hop over here. We're going to go immediately to the future. Normally the game starts in 600 AD, but we want to grab a couple of really easy, quick checks at the start. Just because they're available, they're free, and you can grab them right away. So we're going to go and talk to this lovely man over here, who is he's drinking some soda in an establishment. We're gonna get his tools. I need to do some menu configuration in a moment. I forgot to set stuff up ahead of time. So we're gonna grab some tools from his wife. He's supposed to be doing carpentry work, but he's just not. So let's see what these tools are. And... Hero Medal. Hero Medal is actually a really good thing. We've got Frog, and the Hero Medal allows us not only an additional check, but it allows Frog to just get straight up bonus damage. And a barrier and a shield, which is great. While we're in here, we're going to change our combat speed. That's faster. There we go. And now we're going to go to the Snail Shop, which normally sells you jerky in the base game, but just sells us a random key item here. So we're going to pop over here. Oh, it's actually jerky. Interesting. Alright, so that's fun little French vanilla. Who doesn't love that? Alright, so we're gonna pop back to 600 AD. Now that we've got 2 additional checks to do that are outside of our normal path, we're gonna just do those real quick. It's kind of weird. It's giving us checks that lead to other checks right away, which is not typically what happens. Usually it'll give you either like a bonus item or it'll give you something that's like part of the Go Mode series, as it were. So let me start explaining a little bit of that. First off, we're going to see what characters here. Turns out it's Robo. Not that big of a deal. The reason this game is so different from other RPGs is that there are multiple paths to Go Mode. There are 3 different item sets and character combinations that will lead you either through Magus's Palace, through Tyranno Lair, or through Death Peak. Finding any combination of those items is considered a Go Mode because each one of those end states leads you to the end of the game. So, pop over here, going to trade that jerky in over here, then go to the future and collect our reward. Because reasons. Yeah, so, got ourselves the pendant, which is technically one of the Go Mode items. Just means we can go into the future. It's used for accessing the trial, which we're not going to do until a little bit later. Pendant is very useful in its own right. Mare over here. Haste dress. Oh, hey, yeah, we're going to take that. So what you're seeing right there, name looks a little garbled. That's actually an item, a randomized item. So all of the equipment is also randomized in this, where it gives it different properties and it assigns a plus or negative modifier to it. In this case, we got one of the best items you could possibly get in this game, which is an item that grants haste. So Luca is going to be attacking twice as fast as normal. All of her actions will be faster. So we are in really, really good shape right now. Talk to his captain. That's going to come into play later. We now know that they need supplies, so we can talk to his brother, who is the chef at the castle. And we're going to grab a save. His safety. Everyone loves safety. Alright, so we're going to find this pin on the floor over here. Guardia Crest pin, which means that we know the queen has been kidnapped and brought in here. And this fight is first fight in the game almost everyone does. And fun fact, because of the way the seeding is done, the first 4 attacks are basically guaranteed to be the same. It's a regular attack, then a crit, then a regular attack, then a crit. It's just kind of the way that the RNG seed works. Also, there was another configuration in this, which is memorizing the battle cursor. Definitely makes certain things like this a little easier. A lot less button mashy. Okay, so this combat's gonna take a couple seconds. Not only is this is meant to be the tutorial for combat, like the big tutorial for large groups of combat. Before that, you might run into a couple things, but none of them are really dangerous. These cause slow, which takes a long time to process through. Obviously the haste that bypasses the slow, so they can't slow Luca. But you'll look at Frog's bar and it's moving like half the pace it normally should. Alright, and that wraps up that fight. So we're gonna get our first character check here. Normally in the base game this would be Frog, but we're gonna see who we get. Ooh, Magus. Alright, this is excellent luck. Magus is a very strong character on his own. He's a late game character, so not only are stats not really proportioned properly for early game, but his magic is incredible. So we're gonna take a quick look at what techs he has, real quick. He still hasn't learned Black Hole, but that also changes how we're gonna go about this. Where's Battle Cursor? Save Battle Cursor. That needed to be turned on because that allows me to do some auto attack stuff. On the plus side, like I said, we're not going to follow the standard path we normally would, which is diving directly in here. You know what? Actually, I'm going to take that back. We definitely need fire on Luca before we can go and do the other section I was thinking about. So we will dive this first, then we're going to do Magic Cave for tech points. So most of this, if you've seen this game before, this should look very familiar. It's the first dungeon, the first real dungeon you do. Again, basic intro to the game teaches you the idea of like looking for switches and toggling certain things to go different places. Also, hiding treasure chests. A lot of the map design in this is based very heavily on the work that was done for Final Fantasy VI, which I can go into a little bit more about the actual dev team. And I hate to evoke him at this point because he just passed, but Akira Toriyama did all of the character design and monster design for this game. So, being one of the quote-unquote dream team, specifically being the Enix creator of the Dragon Quest monsters, like the early Dragon Quest monsters, they brought him in to do all of the art direction for character and monster design, which is great. But yeah, the level designers come from the Final Fantasy space. So this was a collaboration between Square and Enix at the time. To create this really interesting new kind of RPG before they became one company as well. So this is one of those things that bridged that a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just basically burning through these fights as quickly as possible. With Battle Cursor turned on, I can basically just hold down the X button and it will issue auto attacks the second that they're available. That way we can not have to swap between attack and tech. I can select attacks, and if I want to attack, I'll just press the X button. Okay, we're going to grab this stuff. We're going to, I believe the Iron Blade is... No, that was the Chrono weapon. Whoops. Thinking of the wrong thing. So we're getting the Knockout Bromide, and that's going to be useful a little bit later on, not too far off from now. It's not technically an item, but it's a trigger to get us an item, so... And not an actual progression item, it's more just a side check for some bonus stuff. It is one of the criticisms of this game that people have, is that the combat is quite slow. It's excellent if you're playing through it casually. It feels really good. It's well-paced, but for speedrunners and for people who do the randomizer, the combat can feel a little bit glacially paced at times. But it also looks beautiful. It was one of the drawing points of the game itself, was that it looked really nice. It had great animations for the time. You compare that to something like the Final Fantasy animations, a lot of them were kind of static and stiff, and this was like full motion animation, which is very much a departure from the norm. Get the ether. Yeah, unfortunately, Magus isn't going to get one of his spells in this dungeon. There's just not enough tech points to do it, which is why we're going to dive Magic Cave directly after this. Shockingly good at getting tech points. We'll also see the character we get from this. We might get, honestly, if we get Ayla, that'd be great. With the haste dress, Ayla is an absolute monster. Okay, right now we're getting a little bit of a carry from Magus being, again, just not designed for early game. Doing 100 damage on a swing this early is pretty strong. And he's only going to get stronger. So, I mentioned earlier that there are other randomized aspects of this game. Not only are the key items randomized, and thus the progression randomized, along with our unique 3-go mode system. What's really interesting also is the bosses are randomized in location. So, technically an optional thing, same with the equipment randomizer, but we have it set that we will not have any of the bosses' vanilla spots if we can help it. Sometimes they get put there, but it's not frequent. Vanilla spot placement is definitely not a normal thing with this randomizer. So we'll see in a moment who's standing where the Yakra boss should be. Grab this save spot, and we're going to use some items we picked up, specifically those. Organize everything. We're not going to use the power tab just yet. Alright, Yakra, reveal yourself. So for context from the original game, this is supposed to be the Chancellor who's in control of the criminal justice system in Guardia. Oh, it's fake Magus. It's Magus 2, which is the easier Magus. So, interesting draw. And we're going to slash and palm. Ideally, this should be a pretty quick fight, although I will say the level 2 magics are going to hurt. Not nearly as bad as they could, because of this spot, like all of the stat scaling is done based on what location the boss is in. And yeah, spells like Napalm are very overpowered this early on. Luca has a high magic stat to begin with, and that spell is designed to be used later in the game. So some of that's a little out of balance early game and end game. Grab this last box over here, and we'll free the Chancellor. Alright, this is going to quickly warp us to Guardia Castle now, and one of the reasons why we stopped at the bridge before we did this was because now we can check what the check is off of the cook in the basement. That's after we grab ourselves our 4th character. And this one. Shelters are incredibly useful. They are also very expensive in this game because they are so useful. They're like 1,000 gil apiece. To put that in context, some decent equipment is around 10,000 gil. And we got ourselves a Chrono. Unfortunately, at this point, I don't necessarily think we're going to use him. The haste dress really means that we want a lady in the party that's, doing the physical damage. Yeah, also with Luca, if we do keep Luca in the party, or if we swap to Marl, it'll allow Marl to cast haste faster. All around, it's just a really great thing to have. Marley, not sure exactly how it's pronounced, but typically I usually go with Marley, but, you know. Alright, so we're gonna talk to the chef. He's gonna ramble on about food for the front lines and stuff like that, and apparently... There we go. Softball her character half a second. Wait till that dialogue is done, and now he's going to stop us right about here. Oh, I should have grabbed a save before I did this. It's fine. Doomblade 1, alright. And a power tab. Doomblades are... so Doom is a property. If a character is down, Doom does a huge amount of damage using the weapon. If they're not, it's basically just a regular weapon. So the Doomblade... Not sure, that might be a replacement for Rainbow, but we'll see. So now we're doing the bridge. It looks shockingly like the space behind my window in my webcam.
Weird.
A little bit, like maybe just a little bit, yeah. I don't know, just very similar designs. It's fine. We're going to punch Ozzy. Normally in this you wouldn't punch Ozzy, but there is a little break in this. So the skeletons can't really be killed without magic. They're not designed to be killed without magic. But if you punch Ozzy 3 times, they'll just be desummoned. He runs away. I believe, I'm not sure if that's in the vanilla. I haven't played the vanilla without magic on this bridge ever, so wouldn't know. But yeah, if you hit him 3 times, they'll be dispelled and he'll run away. Because Ozzy's a coward, and always has been. Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape right now as far as our party loadout is concerned. I would like to swap Luca for Ayla if we find her, but I don't know that's going to happen anytime soon. So, also there are certain things that might make me bypass using the haste dress for something more important, like if we do get a rainbow sword, that's obviously going to take precedent. Okay, Ozzy, please summon in something. Summon in the golem, that'd be great. Like the boss golem. That'd be fantastic. Or like Yakra. It's not anything that requires magic. Nizbal! Oh, it's Nizbal. This might actually be a problem. Okay, I don't think I think regular magic will do enough damage. Yeah, okay, so we can make this work. Nizbal's supposed to be hit with lightning to weaken him. But we can't really do that right now. Try throwing napalm at him and see if the napalm itself does more damage. Yeah, we're just gonna napalm him down. Basically our physical attacks are gonna be completely useless. Magus doesn't have any magic, and we don't have any lightning attacks. So it's a problem. Basically, I'm going to be off-healing as much as I can. But tossing napalm is going to be incredibly important. I think we've got enough MP recovery to do this. Very possibly. It's going to be a real sketch, but it's fine. Yep, Magus is probably just gonna sit by the sideline and just throw ethers on Luca. We out of regular old healing? Yeah, we are. We're gonna toss a shield on her. Oh, whoops. Tossed on the wrong character. Totally fine. Again, this is kind of the expectation with these sorts of runs, specifically the randomizers. You never know what you're gonna run into. And in this case, we were hit with a boss that was very badly timed for our loadout. think you should take like 1 or 2 more. Oh, yeah, he's done. So we got through. Yeah, Mizzle's not one of those ones you want to see early on. Yeah, Magus without any tech is kind of a problem. That's Star Sword. Ooh, Star Sword's good. Let me do a little bit of mental calculus real quick. Star Sword, if you put Rock Helm on him and Mesa Mail. We're... Oh, the Doom Blade is his. Oh, yeah, never mind. We're gonna keep him in for now. That's fine. Let's just take all that good stuff off for now, because you don't need it. Rock Helm, Mesa Mail, and Hero Metal. I think we're pretty much set at this point. Gonna do a bit more clearing then. Alright, so bridge is cleared. Actually, we're gonna pop over here real quick and check out this residence. We're gonna talk to this old man. Then we're gonna look longingly at this drawer over here for just half a second. And then he's gonna suggest we trade that Naga bromide we picked up, so we're gonna do that. He's gonna take that, and he's gonna give us three tabs. One of each of the archetypal types of tab. Magic, speed, and power. They are very useful for filling out late game. The more of them you find, the better off you are. And most of them are static. We can grab a real quick heal right here, because we need to. And then we're going to do some shopping, get ourselves some ethers, some mid-tonics, if we can find them. Okay, over here to shop. What do we got? There are a bunch of shops, all their prices are pretty... Oh, ethers are here! We're buying as many ethers as we can carry. And we're buying, about 40 mid-tonics. And we're gonna sell that load sword. Aeon blade. I think that's all we need to sell for now. Basic equipment, Hurricane. We're gonna... Oh, we can't afford Hurricane. We're a little short on that. Let's see if we can shore up that. Yeah, getting Magus some regular roll punchy punch is really good to do. Alright, so our cup doth overrun with things to do right now, so we're gonna go into the future, I think. Once it goes back, there we go. We're gonna take a quick jump to the future, just so we can see what characters is locked in the future, and to open up a couple spaces for things. Even the way the logic works in this game, the future has some really, really useful things. And for this, we're gonna put our lovely boy Magus in front. Oh, Janus, buddy, you're going to jail. He's here to turn himself in for all of the stuff he did 400 years ago, probably. In reality, what's happening is the game is doing the trial scenario, so after you go to the castle from the Millennium Fair, you come back after saving the princess and saving the queen. You end up getting thrown in jail for supposedly trying to steal the specific pendant that we brought back to him. So this section is done solo with any character. Whatever character's in the lead is the one that goes. So, simple as that. And these chumps are going to lead us off to a jail cell. Because that's what they do. It's not their fault. They don't know they're making a gigantic mistake.
I mean, fair.
So I'm going to grab myself a heal right here. We're going to grab ourselves a save, because safety saves are always good. I refuse to calm down, good sir. I'm gonna smack on this gate until you open it. And like the oppressor is, he punches us back. So we're gonna return the favor. And we're gonna knock him on the back of the head. So the other way to do that is just to sit in the cell for 3 quote-unquote days. It takes about 10 minutes, I think. 5 or 10 minutes. And eventually they open the door and you try to break out anyway. So, it's just saving us some time by making them attack us first. We're gonna leave the castle. we get the opportunity to, I think it's probably a good idea. The stuff in this is also irretrievable, so once we do this, we can't go back, which means doing it right away is always a good idea. And it doesn't take that long. Also, we're going to be saving a certain person in this dungeon. If I was originally going to say we should probably do that as a poll, but I think I'm just going to say Fritz anyway. So this is a thing you can optionally miss in the game. The owner of the local shop, Pierre, who's also your lawyer, who did a fantastic job, by the way. Turns out his son was arrested and is now being imprisoned and tried for a thing he didn't do, much like yourself. So we're going to save him on the way out. He tends to return the favor in a very nice way later on, although it's not super useful in this run. It is nice in the base game to get that. Alright, we're going to line ourselves up pretty precisely and run right through. This is where we start seeing a little bit of that kind of game, where we're trying to avoid certain lines to avoid certain enemies. In the first dungeon, most of them are unavoidable. They're just kind of in the way, you're going to have to fight them. In a lot of the later sections, there are lines you can take that'll avoid a lot of those particular fights. So in this case, we walked right between those shields. There was enough space for us to do that. Oh hey, you learned Black Hole finally! He can do some damage if something's standing near him. Black Hole is the worst of his spells. It'd have to be the one we drew first. All the tech is randomized. His randomizer. Alright, so we're gonna punch him down as well. If you can get up close to them, you can knock them out. And if you knock them out, you can take a mid-tonic off them. Mid-tonics are cheap, there's no reason for us to go out of our way to do that. And also, this one in particular can fall in front of that switch and make it inaccessible. So it's easier to take him out than it is to try and knock him out. But there's our lovely boy Fritz. He doesn't deserve this. We're gonna let him free. I don't know how he's getting out of this dungeon, but, I mean, he's free, right? That's a good thing.
That's the important part.
Yeah, he's probably just, like, hiding off in the background somewhere, just waiting for us to destroy the dragon tank and leave. Revive. Mid-ether. Mid-ethers are nice. Not really necessary. We have 99 ethers for a reason. They're incredibly useful for MP recovery between fights. Obviously, it's terrible to try and use ethers mid-fight, just because they only bring back 10, and most stuff uses more than that, especially Magus' spells. But they're really good for if you're going into a boss fight and you need to heal up MP real quick and you don't have a shelter. Because again, shelter's expensive. Ethers are not. And right up the middle again. It's less precise than it seems. I think there's like a 2 or 3 pixel buffer on the center, so it's not so bad. Yep, in there. Ruby gun, that's gonna be great for our Luca. What you got? Pearl Edge and an Aeon Blade. Pearl Edge is not going to be as good as the Doom Sword we have. Especially if someone goes down. If someone goes down, that Doom Blade is going to do tons of damage. I'm pretty sure it caps it out at 255. So it's really high up there. Alright, so moving on. We're going to what would be the Dragon Tank fight. Now, the Dragon Tank fight is supposed to be your tutorial on multi-part bosses. Really, the first, 3 hours of this game, 3-4 hours, is just tutorializing through combat. Diegetic tutorials, rather than the standard tutorial levels, or how modern games do it, where they just bombard you with boxes. And because we've got an extra couple seconds, I'm going to show off how they did that, and they did it in a fun and interesting way. They're kind of bad to just shove him down the stairs. I don't think he really deserved that. But we're also going to steal some stuff from him, because, I mean, he's knocked out, he doesn't need it. Well, why would he need healing items after we shoved him down a set of stairs? Save. So yeah, diegetic tutorialization. There's a top secret document on the floor. You can read it, and it will explain to you how to fight the Dragon Tank. Having it as part of this, thing built into the game that is optional to look at is just kind of nice. It was definitely unique for the time as well. Alright, so because we're running the beta version of this, we actually do get to randomize this location. Okay, this is Zombor. Alright. I don't love that it's Zombor, but it's Zombor, and we'll deal with it. There's another situation in which we got a boss that is very much a magic boss. We don't have a ton of magic. Okay, we're gonna have to... Let's just do slash at the top. We're gonna do physical attacks on the top, and break that before we do anything else. Magus is doing 200, which is decent. We are going to... Yeah, so the idea is, with this fight, you're supposed to have different types of magic. You can use single-target magics. Not only do we not have single-target magics, but we don't have the ones required to break the top first. So it's just gonna be punching them. Because punching. We're not gonna chance that. I don't remember what Shadow's gonna do to this, so we're just not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna punch. We were really lucky he was on that side of the area, because if he was on the other side of the bridge, it would take him a good, like, 20 seconds to walk across. It's very slow because it's not designed for this room. That was a lot of damage. Frog is absolutely crushing it right now. But that's also because Doom is a thing. We're going to toss a mid-tonic on Frog. He's going to toss a mid-tonic on Magus. And now we're going to wail on this set of legs. Yeah, Frog should be doing 500 to 1,000 for each swing now, because someone's down. Thus is the power of Doom. I'll face it, I don't love that Luca was down for this, but it definitely made that fight go faster. Alright, so now Zombor's going to explode, the Chancellor and his lackeys are going to create a bridge for us to cross, using themselves. And we're gonna escape the castle. Actually, we're gonna pop back up here and grab this chest. There we go. Another Aeon Blade. It's just loading us up with Aeon Blades. Alright, normally in this part of the game is where you would find that Luca's come up with the gate key, and we can control the gates, and we can go into the future while escaping. So this is going to take us to the Proto Dome? I think it's the Proto Dome. Not sure if I remember the name off the top of my head. I think it's Proto. We'll see in a second, though. Because we have early pendant on now, the pendant is activated as soon as we get to the future, which means we can open these lovely locked doors that have some very good equipment in them, typically. That Time Hat's probably going to be an upgrade for... Definitely be an upgrade for Frog. Yeah, so Frog is absolutely crushing it on equipment right now with that Doom Blade. Bangor Dome, that's what it was. This is the Tran Dome. Pop in here, open this door, which should just have, I think it's one box and a tab. And two boxes and a tab. Lapis is incredibly useful for this run. You might also notice that there are pluses next to the different tabs. Given that this is a randomizer, it's meant to be faster. The tabs can give a value that is greater than +1 of the stat. For strength, it's set to 5. For magic, it's set to 3. For speed, it's set to 1. I took out some of the randomization for this just to make it a little more reliable. Oh, Mega Blast. Yeah, we're gonna sell some crap to buy that Mega Blast. We're sell that Dark Side, we don't need any more. Sell those 2 Pearl Edges, and we can buy that Mega Blast. Yeah, looks like this party's probably gonna be what we stick with for a while. Mermaid Cap, Haste Dress, that's about right. Oh, and she'll just have a golden earring because she's already wearing a silver earring anyway. Might increase by 25%, but can increase by 50. Alright, so we're gonna pop on over to the other side here. Check out the Protodome. Beat these debuggers. Oh, these are the buggers. The debuggers are later. Normally in this part of the game is when we'd be trying to get to the present again from the future. We know there's a gate because the machine told us there was a gate. But normally the door is locked. You have to go to the factory to unlock the door. But because we are who we are, and I don't feel like doing that, we're not going to. Oh, they fixed it! This bugger fight was not functional for a little while. I guess it's functional again. Love finding out new stuff on stream.
The best place to find stuff.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Alright, Lightning 2. Yes, Magus finally has a spell we can cast. It's reasonably cheap to cast, and it does a lot of damage. And we got Marl. Or Marley, however you want to pronounce it. So, we're probably not going to use her for this. I don't see a huge benefit to it right now. Not at the moment, anyway. So we're going to stick with Luca for now. Although Magus having magic makes Luca less useful to the party. Let me check what tech Marl has. Yeah, Aura, Ice, and Cure 2 are not worth picking up right now. Alright, we're gonna pop back over here. We're doing stuff, once again, completely out of order, because we can. We're going to the Aristome. Again, we're looting some really decent equipment. That's the main goal of this section right here. There's so many other things we could be doing, but this is what's going to yield us the best equipment and quick checks, so it's worth doing. Yes, Dylan, I know. You want to stop us, but we're going anyway. And we run. Don't mind the statue, it's just a statue, it's totally cool, don't think about the statue. Alright. Oh, Flea. Ugh. Flea is never a good fight to find, ever. It's a notoriously difficult fight. Casually, it's very difficult, but when in certain spots, Flea can be incredibly hard. This isn't one of them. I think we'll be fine to get through this without too much of a problem. I guess, why is your casting hitting so weakly? Oh, that's right, so Flea. Flea's mostly, not immune to magic, but takes less magic damage. So we're gonna Slurp Cut and just swing. Swing for the fences. Yeah, we're just gonna punch Flea as hard as possible. And that's gonna hurt. We're gonna use that Lapis we got for full healing. Oh, no, we're done. So this is why we save before we do stuff. That particular spell scales off of the damage that the character that is charmed does. So doing that to Magus, not great. What we can do, because I believe it always attacks the first person, is we're gonna go right back in there, if I can hit the right menu, swap Luca to the top and give Luca a not great weapon. Yeah, so that should solve the problem. We're going to try this one more time. If we can't get this right now, we'll come back for it. It's not like this is the only path forward. We've got a lot of things to do. We don't have any other of our progression Go mode items right now. So that's the thing. We're kind of lacking on Go mode items. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. They'll come quick. It's just a matter of finding the right paths. Yeah, we'll have Luca toss out Napalm. Probably faster than her casting. Or her using her gun. Slower animations, but higher damage, so. Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good right now. If we don't get the stair, we can probably take care of her. Yeah, there we go. So that's taken care of. That's Flea down. Whew. Tense fight. Yeah, so we got the Flea Vest out of it, which is one of her vanilla drops. Flea Vest gives you 10 points of magic reduction? Magic damage reduction? Oh, 12 points of magic defense. It's probably more useful than the little bit of help we're getting off of that earring. So we just found out that frog statue isn't actually a statue. Gasp. We're gonna swap Magus back into the front. We're gonna re-equip Luca with her good gun. And we're gonna catch ourselves a rat that was definitely not a statue. Get him here. Ready, little bugger. Got him. What's interesting too is that is based on a flag rather than the actual button combination, so you have to do the button combination, but if you don't catch it, you still can't do it. It's better, like, you have to be told to be able to do it, which is interesting. Alright, so we're gonna go down here. Normally, this is where you would see a very pivotal scene to the story, specifically where you find out what happened on the day of Lavos. But because this is a randomizer, they've used it for something completely different. Oh, this is just a vault area, by the way, so we're gonna grab the items here. This typically has the best items. Hyper Ether's great, Elixir's great, Prism Helmet, also great, and a Tobin suit. Unfortunately, the Tobin suit is useless, but Prism Helmet's great. I think we're pretty much good to go on equipment for that. So, now that we know what characters are where, we know Ayla is absolutely in the past. But we're going to... If they want to bring Ayla in, we definitely need to do it sooner rather than later so we can start building up her tech. So yeah, that just shows who the bike race champions are for... I don't know which event it was, but they did a jet bike race, and those names are now forever immortalized. It's way more important than a cutscene about Lavos. Alright, get out of here without pulling the bugs. Don't touch the rats. And now Dylan is going to give us a special item, which was normally the jet bike key. They're all just amazed we survived. What are you gonna give us? Huh? Moonstone. Unfortunately, the Moonstone is not something we're probably going to use this run. It's also not part of our progression cycle, so this is yet another item collection that does not lead us towards Go mode. So we're gonna go way back to the past now. There's really nothing else for us to do right now here that isn't probably... Actually, no. There's one we can do right here. We're gonna check it out and see what boss is there. Over here, we'll do the Sun Palace. So we're gonna save before we go in, because this fight is very likely to beat us up pretty bad. Oh, hey, it's Flea Plus. Alright. So if you thought Flea was bad, let's just fight harder Flea. She's still in a attainably beatable kind of health range. So we're gonna try it. I don't think she does the Stairs Plus. think it's a different ability. Don't quote me on that. No, she does the stare. Yeah, I was wrong. And it does more damage this time around. Again, this is why we save. We're just gonna leave Play Plus alone for a bit. Alright, back to the past. Gonna go over to 600 AD. If we need to get to the end of time, we can always try to bypass that by going through the factory, but it's slow, and it doesn't really yield any progression other than putting us in the potential to get certain places. So, we don't have Robo, so we're not going to do that. Oh, wait, we do have Robo, don't we? No, Robo is still in the frog spot, so we're going to go do the mountain over here. Grab a couple of items on the way up. Features one of my favorite little combat skips in the game. Also, Tata the fraud. In the base game, Tata steals the hero medal from Frog. Says he finds it, and everyone assumes he's the hero because he's got the hero medal. Which, I mean, I'm not going to question people who think that a child somehow is given one of the greatest honors of Guardia, but, you know, is what it is. Do this the right way, although I don't think you really need to for damage. Yeah, it's gonna die anyway. Normally you cast fire on them, that lights their club on fire and they drop it, but in this case we're doing enough damage that it's not a problem. They just take incredibly reduced physical damage. That's usually faster to light the club on fire. Because Ogans themselves take a lot of damage. But I think we can kind of just muscle our way through it. Yeah. Our physical damage is in a really good spot right now. I'm really happy with how this is playing out. Our other option is we might make Frog our physical DPSer. The only problem is we don't have a multi-target heal available on one of one of the women in the party. So, multi-target heals are only done by Frog and Robo, and they are kind of pivotal for late game fights, especially if you're not properly high enough level to do a lot of these fights, which, let's face it, it's a randomizer, we're going to be under level. So when we get to some of the later fights, we're going to need that ability to do AoE heals. It's also why Lapis is seen as such an incredibly useful item, because it's a 200-point heal to everybody. They're also incredibly expensive in shops when you do find them. We don't need the Ruby Vest. Fight this Ogan. 50 on the dot. There we go. Right, last fight for this section. Yeah, that's exactly what happens with the Ogans. Is they'll just take some massively reduced damage from physical attacks. Alright, so Magus knows Ice 2, that's useful. We still want him to learn something like Dark Mist or Dark Eternal or Dark Bomb, because he's the only character that can do, well, one of two characters that can do dark attacks. For some reason, lasers are considered dark attacks. Not gonna ask questions on that one. Pop up here, grab this chest over here, and this is the skip I was talking about. Normally, this area leads into a 5-fight gauntlet that takes forever to do, but if we hold a direction like that and run around it, we've bypassed the trigger and skipped all 5 of those fights. And they are very slow. Unfortunately, we can't avoid this fight. We're going to have to do it twice. Just because we want to kind of get some other equipment that's sitting around. Kind of hidden. Most people don't tend to find it their first playthrough. I only know that because I played this game a lot. I used to play it every year since its release. So, casually I've played this game a whole bunch. It gives you time to look around and take in the scenery. Alright, so we got a Lapis. Usually good to have. Again, not sure it was worth the time to get. Nor was the Glow Helm. So, a little bit of a bust, but it's fine. Avoid the trigger again. Do this fight again. Yeah, nothing in this area is really that intimidating, especially with the equipment we've got, the strength we're at. Mostly just going to be autopilot until we get to boss fights, and then figuring out exactly what we're going to need to do for those fights. Some of them are incredibly easy, some of them are rather difficult no matter what your party comp is. Nizbal 2, probably going to be the worst one we can run into here. Although we do have lightning now, so we can actually weaken him. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. Kikagaya can also be a problem. Don't think we're going to run into those right now. As I mentioned at the top of the run, the reason we're running the beta is because it gives us some additional functionality in certain things, and it also adds more boss randomization to the randomization pool. Also, mountains are nice. And we've bugged this man enough that he's giving us a magic tab. Nothing like getting what you want through harassment. He's just trying to, mind his own business. He's like, mountains are nice. You're being noisy. Stop being noisy. Fine, just go away. Alright, we're gonna stand here and we're gonna let that rock hit us, because that rock is actually a magic rock. That is how you get the blue rock. Sometimes with the randomizer, it can give you bonus stats on stuff like the blue rock. In certain cases, it'll give you something like, it could give you haste, it could give you other things. In this case, it was nothing, so it takes half a second, but definitely worth doing. Yes, we're here for the Masamune. Come on. Fork it over, kid. We don't have all day. This will always be the Masa and Mune fight. We're gonna just punch Masa as hard as we can, and eventually they're gonna fall over. Yeah, we're a little overpowered for this right now, based on the area that we're in, and the level that we're at. Oh, it's the Dragon Tank. It looks a little weird, because it's definitely not supposed to be rendered here. Some of these bosses are very particularly designed for the areas they're in. In this case, the Dragon Tank is meant for one specific map. It took them quite some time to figure out how to randomize it properly into the list, and make it function in maps that it's not supposed to be in. Fortunately, again, we are very overpowered right now, so we're going to just wholesale stomp through this. Yeah, the reason this sprite disappears here is because in the original fight, the background, it's sort of baked into the background layer to have a second version of the body, so it can lose the body but not actually have it get rid of the sprite. So yeah, it's again not rendered properly, but you don't expect that with randomizers. There are a lot of randomizers that have that problem of it doesn't look perfect, but it works. Alright, Mega Blast, Silver Earring, and Top and Vest. Good for sale, but not really good for use, unfortunately. And now, if this game would be so kind as to give me a Go Mode item, I would appreciate it. And we have? It's slower than I remember it being. We got the Chrono trigger. Okay, we're going Dark Omen for this one. I can feel it already. So we've got the pendant, and we've got the Chrono trigger. We just need the clone now. Is there Black Omen? So the Black Omen is sort of the pinnacle of the game. It's the last thing you're supposed to fight. Because the go mode is done in such an odd way with this, we trigger that by going to the top of Death Peak, where we would normally bring back Chrono. We're gonna go do Magic Cave. I think it's probably the best idea right now. Get us some tech points, get everything sort of sorted. But yeah, we're definitely being pushed down that route, and I'm fine with that. That's it's one of the longer endings, but given the time we're at, if we find the Chrono Trigger in the next hour, not the Chrono Trigger, the clone in the next hour, we'll be fine. Go mode in this is not necessarily immediately start solving the end. Mostly it's make sure you're geared up and then do the end. And in this case, we're pretty good on gear. Alright, so moving on to this section, these little pot things that are coming up right here, they give a large amount of tech points for early in the game. I think it's 25. They're easy to avoid, you can run away from them, but it's way more beneficial to take them out. And really, we're just sort of deciding what we want to fight and when we want to fight it, to kind of figure out what our best course of action is. In this case, these are a fight, but everything else in this dungeon is run away. Almost always faster to run away than it is to actually just auto-attack out a fight. We're gonna do a specific line to avoid some weevils. Grab that. We can't avoid these, so we're gonna have to just pull them in and run away quick. Fantastic. Get a quick runaway that didn't even get any combat off. That's great. Rock Helm, which we don't care about. Some roly-polies. They're adorable. Yeah, we're gonna take out the bats. Shouldn't take us too long to just nuke them down real quick. Magnus's low-level spells are great for this. These are all weak to magic. This is again, another tutorial for how to use magic in combat. Prior to this, you'd just gotten your magic abilities through talking to Specchio, the Master of War, who has the absolute best jam in this game, bar none. We will hear that later on. I will make a side trek to talk to Specchio specifically for that. Also, we have the benefit of my other characters learning how to use spells. It's probably a good thing to have. Okay. Dark Mist. That is one of the reasons why we came here. Dark Mist is an incredibly useful spell. It's one of the first major AoE dark spells you get. It's not as good as Dark Matter, but it's also less MP than Dark Matter, so it's very useful for certain situations. I should probably just do the reshuffle on this. Organize. Shelter! From a time-save perspective, shelters are very fast. Alright, who are we fighting here? Oh, Son of Flame! No, it's not. It's, the other Zombor thingy. We are gonna use Ice. So Ice is gonna make him brittle. And then we're just gonna punch the top. We're gonna Leap Slash the top. And then we're gonna punch the legs. And Leap Slash the legs. And there we go, that's the boss. Rainbow Arm. Okay, we need to get Robo, like, now. We need to force the Masamune to get Robo, but I definitely want to do that, because, so, Rainbow is a type of weapon in this. It causes it to do, an incredibly high crit chance. I think it's like 80% crit chance. And I believe it increases the crit rate to 4x. So it's really, really useful. So if we can get Robo, that'll be great. If we can't, it's not a big deal. Talman gave us the bent hilt. Awesome. We just need the bent blade, and we can get ourselves a Robo. And that would unlock the other Go mode. So I'm all about that. Let's go to the future. I don't think I want to fight Flea just yet, but we're gonna open the... We're actually gonna do the door over here. This is usually a pretty slow option, but it's probably the best option for us to get to the end of time. And that's gonna open up a few more things, so we're gonna do it. Oh wait, no. Do we need Robo for this? Can't remember. I don't think so. Well, we're gonna find out. It shows how often I do this particular section. Yeah, normally this game requires you to have Robo, but I believe that's bypassed for this particular shack. All about pathing and avoiding enemies. We're not gonna grab that save, we don't need it. We just saved. Okay, so this should be pretty quick. These are not the strongest enemies. They tend to retain their HP, so it shouldn't be an issue with us clearing them this quickly. That's why all the enemies in the Magic Cave are so easy to take out. They're meant to be done substantially earlier than some of the stuff we were doing. Another Rainbow Helm. Nice. I kind of love the very, very minor science thing that they've got here, with the alkalines and acids. When they combine, they explode. Because they can't, typically they cancel each other out, but the idea was that they have a chemical reaction when they interact together, which is kind of interesting. Again, the monster design in this game is just incredibly clever in certain ways. And it's all thanks to Toriyama's interesting designs and the programmers having a sense of humor about the game. I was kind of seeing like Dragon Quest had a sense of humor and Final Fantasy kinda didn't. So this is sort of like a nice melding of worlds there. Yeah, there's the chemical fusion. Luca, if you could hit for more than 2 points, that would be just spectacular. Dropping hyper ethers. Those are great. Great item. Gonna try a thing real quick that I might regret, but it'll be fine, I think. Pretty sure shadow damage does cut through these guys. I might be wrong about that. It does. It just doesn't get all the way, so we're gonna have a couple back-to-back explosions. At the very least, I think one of them will survive this. Oh, we're fine. That's a Magus down. But on the plus side, that means that Frog is going to do a lot more damage. Everything has its plus sides when Frog has a Doomblade. Alright. Megaton arm. Nah. Not great. Going down. We're gonna pop some heals. So we got mid-tonics and ethers we can use. So we're gonna do that, just to make sure everyone's topped up. We're just overloaded with healing items. We should probably start using them for things. Fantastic. So this is a code you're also not supposed to know. This does not require that you do the thing that teaches it to you, though. So it says the code is Zabby, which is X-A-B-Y. Hitting that in that order unlocks the door, and that does not change. Again, little stuff like that where they find in-game reasons to explain why a thing is a thing, and what button combinations to use. It's nice. Alright, so we're gonna run out this way. We're gonna run into a boss fight on the way out, because that's just the unavoidable consequence of blowing up some stuff. It's a lava spawn! Is it the Elder spawn? No, it's the regular spawn. It's fine. Lava spawn's kind of a pushover. It really does depend on the spot, though. Sometimes those quills do a lot of damage. And we're gonna have to do physical attack only, because we don't have any non-AoE spells to use. But I'm reasonably sure we'll be fine with this. Alright, so once we're done with this lava spawn and we get to the end of time, I know that we talked about doing a break at some point, so after we get back to the end of time, I think it'd be good to take a quick break there.
Alright, perfect. Sounds good.
Yep. Should be about a couple more minutes. This lava spawn is just gonna fall over like a jump. That is if Frog doesn't punch somebody, which, I mean, that star over his head makes me think he's gonna punch somebody. But no one's down, so it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, star's gone, we're good. Star stands for confused, by the way, so when a target character is confused, it means that they randomly attack anything. There are a couple of bad consequences to being confused on that particular fight. Specifically, if they punch the shell of the lava spawn, it sends off a spike attack that does a lot of damage. That can absolutely end a fight. Alright, so we are going to the Proto-Dome. We are going to run through here. Open up this door that's now open back here. And we're going to the end of time, folks. Alright, so now that we're at the end of time, I think now would be good to take a break, so I'm just going to pause right here.
Awesome. Yeah, so during these longer runs, we like to take breaks just so everybody can get up, stretch, get some water, anything they need to do. So we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back with more Chrono Trigger. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. This is our Frost Fatales 2024 bonus stream, and we're in the middle of a Chrono Trigger run. I'll just hand it right back over whenever you're ready.
Alright, fantastic. So I'm going to give a countdown for the timer. Start back up in 3, 2, 1, go! Alright, so on to the greatest song in this particular soundtrack. I'm just going to let this music play while I do this kind of annoying thing. I love Specchio's theme personally. I think it's just an awesome song. We just got magic unlocked for Luca and Frog. They need Specchio to unlock magic. You don't have it otherwise. So basically, anytime we get a character that is in the first 4 characters, we bring them to Specchio to unlock their stats. Magus doesn't need it because Magus is Magus. So Chrono and Marley can also have theirs unlocked, but we're not going to use them, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, wait, no, we didn't want to do Medina Village. Whoops. It's fine. We'll just go back through the cabinet. Actually wanted to go back through the Banger, Banger Dome. Not Banger Dome. Proto Dome. So we can get our ship. Because that's kind of important to have. Kind of the crux of this whole thing. But coming here unlocked for us 12,000 AD, or 12,000 BC rather. And provided us with the portal over here. What am I doing? Not Banger Dome. Not Guardia Forest. Again, shows how often that I come through this section. Earthbound Island. I'm gonna pick all of the wrong ones. There it is, Protodome. Yeah, so either way, this unlocked for us 12,000 BC, which unlocks for us Mount Woe. Looking over my tracker, we've got only a handful of things we can actually do right now. So we're either going to have to do Mount Woe or we're going to have to do Genodome, and I will pick Mount Woe every time because Genodome is just a slog. So Mount Woe is actually a later game section. The enemies there are not kind, and it's pretty long. It's kind of unfortunate that we rolled to be able to do this, but it's fine. Totally fine. We've got the time for it. So we're going to run up this way, we're going to do a couple of fights getting up to it, and then this is going to be a very, very long bit of just intense combat and looting. Unfortunately, there's not a ton to talk about. I can do a little bit of commentary on some of the enemies, but again, it just takes a while to get through. From a story perspective, this is where you're supposed to you find out that Melchior, the man who forged the Masamune, was actually the guru of, I think it was the guru of reason from this era, and was thrown into the future against his will. So you normally would go up here to save him from Giga Gaia and being left on the island forever. It turns out that anyone that aggravates Zeal gets cast out of the Kingdom of Zeal. Also, the pretension of naming your kingdom after yourself is kind of, I don't know, a little out there. Either way, this is a pretty quick area. There's only a couple fights through here, and then once we get onto Mount Woe proper is when things slow down. Also, some of the best items in the game are going to be up here, though. This is one of the few areas that is pre-Ocean Palace and pre-Black Omen that is like the highest sort of level of area. It's supposed to be what you do right before you go into the Ocean Palace. Truth be told, we're probably a little under-leveled for this, but the Genodome would still have the same problems, so this just seems like the better option. Genodome is actually designed to be Robo's side story, and I guarantee that one of these places is going to give us the gate key. which will let us go to the past. Because the only other one from there, it's either that or it's going to give us some type of go mode where it's like either taking us into Magus's palace or taking us to the Black Omen. We are going to fight this guy. This guy right here. Turns off all your tech, makes you punch him. If you punch him good enough, he'll give you a bunch of tech points and experience. Unfortunately, he also has an incredibly high evasion rate, which means hitting him twice to do this is kinda hard. And after a certain amount of time, he'll run away. But think of it like the metal slime of this game. Not that I know anything about metal slimes. Alright, so that's a substantial number of tech points. Hopefully, let's see where Magus is for his next tech unlock. Magic Wall, no one cares about Magic Wall. We do definitely need our frog to get a bunch of tech points so that he can start working towards heal. Once he gets heal, he'll be single-minded focused on just making sure the party is topped up. That's his goal. If I had Robo on the team, Robo would also be waiting until he had Heal Beam and doing the same thing. Although, I still want to take Robo. If we can get Uzi Punch with that rainbow, that'll be incredible. But it's also, like, way out of the way. Yeah, this is a gamble. We could see things go a little pear-shaped if we also have to do Genodome, but we'll burn that bridge when we cross it. Alrighty, that rubble went down real quick. Grab that item. Yeah, I am going a little bit out of the way to get certain items. I don't know why I even paused there. We have that Doom Sword, and that's one of Frog's best weapons, so we're going to leave that on him. Demon Hit is good if you're fighting magic enemies, but not quite as good as if one of our party members goes down. Also, we're going to start using Dark Mist to take people down. Really, given the animations, sometimes it is just faster to straight up auto-attack through stuff. Casting animations tend to be very long and overdrawn, so sometimes saving the MP and doing that also saves the frames. Water 2 is good to have. I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Those little rock things are kind of adorable. They get their like little tiny eyes, little tongue sticking out. It's cute. But a couple of them that are like a couple enemies that use that same model. This is just the rubble recolor, as it were. I mean, like all games of the era, there are a lot of recolor uses for this, so a lot of enemies are seen multiple times, recolored, that kind of thing. That imp sprite's used like 6 times. Supposed to be whatever. Okay, didn't hug that tight enough. These guys can actually be quite dangerous in that they do that. That move will always take you down to 1 HP. And on a fight like that, whenever you get kicked twice like that, there's a 50% chance they'll take you down. So it turns into a coin flip whether or not you survive. It'll always take you down to 1, but when you're at 1, it'll just rounding error figure out whether or not you survived it. Grab that save, because why not? Yeah, late game in this game suffers from this quite frequently, where it's a whole lot of constant attacks, constant combat. If we do end up going through the Black Omen, that'll be a really clear indication of the fact that they just toss a lot of enemies at you at the end. But we're torn on go modes right now. We might go Magus's Palace, and we might go Black Omen. For expediency's sake, we want to see that bent sword rather than bent blade rather than the clone, because the Black Omen takes a very long time to get through. But who knows? The way this game plays, I could find the entire other go mode. If we find Dreamstone and Gate Key, and the Ruby Knife, it'll be the other go mode. Silver Stud, fantastic. Magus, you are going to use so many more spells now. Silver Stud is an item that reduces the MP usage of spells by 50%. So, you look at something like Dark Matter, which is a 20 MP usage, now it's 10, which means you can cast it substantially more. 9 times instead of 5. Or, well, no, 9 times instead of 4. I can math. Although I know math on stream is illegal, so.
That is a very good point.
Nothing is better than, like, going on stream trying to do simple math and then realizing, like, 5 minutes later that you were just completely wrong.
Yep. Yeah.
I think we've all been there at some point. Okay, now let's just really hope they don't focus down one person, like they tend to do. Oh, they're being nice, they're not doing that weird spinny kicky thing. Little falcon gargoyle thingies. Ether. I don't even know what I'm looking for at this point. I found most of the stuff that I want, although I still want to get as many tech points out of this as possible, just so we can start getting. Oh, we've got heal. Never mind. We don't need to worry about tech points now. I do want to get Dark Matter. It's always a good thing to have, but heal was the big thing. And you'll see why momentarily. This AoE heal is going to make all the difference in later fights. It's what's going to keep us up through a lot of this stuff, so. I also would love to have Flare, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Yeah, so the only party member we're flexible on right now is Luca. Just the fact that she's good, haste is good, but it would be better to have Robo with the Rainbow Arm. By all objective measures. We've got magic, we've got heals on lockdown. We're gonna run away from this. Hopefully they're kind and don't just rake us over the coals for it, but... Cool. Yeah, we were about, what, 2 major screens away from being at the top? We're closing the distance. But it takes a while. It's just an onslaught of enemies. That was a little late. Deeply, unfortunately late. We're gonna do that run thing. Yeah. They can do that kind of thing where they focus one target down and then it becomes kind of a mess, especially since our main AoE is coming from Magus. Ether. thus is the dichotomy of ether. They are everywhere, you can get them really cheap, but they take a long time to use. I feel comfortable dumping our speed tabs on the Magus at this point. I think that might be the right path. Normally I hold off and use the tabs later in the game, but I think we're kind of settled in for, at least for magic users, Magus is staying around forever. So magic and speed tabs should be his. We'll worry about Robo's stuff later if we do pick him up. And his magic's gonna hit a lot harder now. And he should start off our fights now. He should get the first attack, typically. Oh, and I guess another speed tap for good measure. Gold earring. Not too concerned about that. Slasher 2, we don't really need. More gargoyles. Yeah, Dark Mist is an incredibly useful spell early on. A lot of Magus' spells, he does more damage with spells than any other character. He is the best magic user in the game. He also has no dual techs, and dual techs are very useful, but not so much in this particular run. We're gonna try and... yeah, good. Good. We got it off before they got their first attack off. These man-eaters here, what they tend to do is throw confusion, and they'll confuse everybody in the party, causing them to... causing your party basically to punch each other down. Not a great thing. We're going to just top everybody off again. I was gonna say, even if we have to do the Geno Dome, I think we might actually be in a good enough position where if we get Go mode in the next 35 minutes, we'll be fine. Really matters which Go mode, though. I mean, obviously our goal is to not do the Geno Dome, because the Geno Dome is slow. To give some context into what the Geno Dome is, it's the side quest for Robo, where you find out what the robots have been doing with the humans. Turns out they're doing some Soylent Green kind of stuff, but not as useful. Not great for anybody involved. But yeah, Robo is sort of disgusted by finding all of that out. He ends up having to confront his former partner, and then take down Mother Brain. But not that Mother Brain, a different Mother Brain. A more differenter one. Alright, so we found Melchior. It looks suspiciously like Ozzy's little crystals thing that he does. And instead of Gigakaya, we got Nizbal 2! Alright. Come on down, Nizbal 2. This is actually approachable because we have lightning. If it wasn't, this would be a much worse fight. We're also blessed with the fact that we've got a bunch of magic attacks now that we didn't have before. Specifically, Flare and Water 2. Incredibly useful for this. I think Nizbal's probably going to be a little bit of a pushover in the spot because of that. Actually, let's take a look at his health. Yeah, he's got like 4,000. Oh, that is a thing we've got set up here. We can see all of the health. Basically, the boss sight scope and regular sight scope are on permanently for this run. Just as an optimization tactic for marathon safety. Typically, it's not on. Also, it doesn't make that much of a difference if you've got a working strategy. If it takes an extra minute because you have to do an extra cycle of attacks, it's not that big of a deal. Let's, good Dark Mist. Should hit for about 1,200? Oh, no, it's only 800. He's gonna unleash the lightning momentarily. And normally for a Highlander that would be the end, but no. Gonna have to do this cycle again if he does get the lightning off, because he's gonna get his defenses back. There we go. Bye-bye, Nizbal 2. You will be missed, not really. Alright, and that's the end of Mount Woe! We got a Mega Elixir out of it, we got ourselves another key item. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll find out momentarily. Welcome back, Melchior of the past. Bent Sword, we got a go mode, everybody. We got a go mode and we got a robo. This is that was the best possible outcome for this. We're gonna go grab our robo, and then we're going to grab ourselves a save. I don't want to do Fiona real quick to see if I can get something, because it doesn't take that long to do. So I think we're gonna do that out of just for fun, for funsies. Yeah, getting this go mode means that we are in great shape. It was pretty quick run actually, relatively jetty. We still have 2 very large dungeons to go through, so it's not like it's over by any means. But they are. Oh wait, I forgot to actually reforge the sword. I've just got 2 pieces of the sword. I gotta go talk to Melchior at the present time to fix the sword. So that's gotta happen. But yeah, so. Again, we're not even close to being done at this point, specifically because Magus' castle and the Ocean Palace are kind of long. It also means that I'm going to have to bring up my Magus' Palace cheat sheet for one very specific room that I hate, and I'll call it out when it's there. And I think it's a room that everyone hates. While we're going through this fun cutscene, I'm going to bring that up for myself. Just hold 1 second. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, we'll go further into detail once we get to that point. But yeah, Magus' Palace is always just kind of a slog. It even goes on to boast that there's 100 enemies in Magus' Palace. And they're not wrong. If you fight everything, there's 100 enemies, but we don't fight everything. Because lines. Alright, so we're gonna go back to the past so that we can grab ourselves a Robo who thinks he's Frog and then open a cave. After we do Fiona. Yep. Have a sword you're never gonna use, because you don't use swords. The idea of Frog bequeathing Frog's sword to Robo, so Robo will come with them so Frog can use the sword to open a cave, seems a little odd. And unfortunately, this is where Lucas stops being part of our party. As much as I would have loved to have kept her on, that is way more important. 220 attack plus 70% crit chance. definitely way higher than most stuff. Also, the Moon Armor does not have... Okay, hold on. No Protect All, which is not great, but... we're gonna give him Power Seal. And then we're going to... What's his tech like? Robo Tackle. Uzi Punch is next! Awesome! Yeah, he's become basically our biggest hard punchy guy. Like, you look at compared to the other two, he's 216 versus the 149 and 130 something respectively. So yeah, Robo's just gonna smack things until they stop moving, and we are in great shape. This is our final party comp. Frog on heals, Robo on punch, and Magus on cast. That's kind of the dynamic you want to build for a randomizer group. Is just having those sorts of things filled out. You can also do single target heals if you want to with Marl, and use haste as well. But we're not in so much of a rush, and it's not so predictable that haste is really as useful as it could be as it is in the vanilla game. It's also way better found on items when you're not wasting cast. Darkness those down, and fast water just in case this doesn't take them out, but it should. Hexapods! Alright, we avoided most of that. Excellent. Turbo. Okay, but not great. Also okay, but not great. Good if I remember to use it. Come on, be like Boss Golem or something. I want something easy here. Terra Mutant. Or... Mega Mutant. Okay. Pardon me while I completely forget which mutant is which, because there are way too many of them. Oh, this is the one you can hit with basically anything and it'll just fall over. Yeah, if we had Prism Specs, that would be the thing we'd have on our rover right now, but we don't, unfortunately. Prism Specs are technically a key item. So that's my hope, is that we get something like the Prism Specs off of this particular pull. The only reason I'm doing it is because it's right here. Also, Robo is required to finish this out, because he's immortal, essentially. So, if you haven't played the base game, you'll get to see one of my favorite little things in this game, and the thing I didn't figure out until I was a lot older, is that there's a way to use Robo. Oh, we got a safe helm. Safe helms are great. One of the best helms in the game. It's very safe. Yeah, so we're gonna talk to Fiona. She's sad that the forest is gone and that monster just destroyed it. But she can't stay forever to recover the forest, so our friend Robo is going to in her place. Normally you'd lose him as a party member, and then when you go into the future here, you find that what once was a vast desert is now a lush forest. Typically, this also leads to the green dream state, where you can alter Luca's future alter the future by changing Luca's past. It's a whole big thing. You have to kind of like figure it out by looking at her journal entries as a kid. But that's a whole separate side story. I'm not going to dive into the specifics of it. And now Robo's going to take something from Robo so that we can go and... Hey, we got the clone! Okay, so we've got 2 go modes now. Interesting. So we've got the long go mode and the less long go mode. I think we're going to go with the less long go mode. Yeah, I think Black Omen would just take way too long, and it's not really that much more interesting than going through Magus's castle. So we're gonna do that. Also, Ocean Palace is interesting in its own right. The only thing I can say is Zeal is a little bit easier to beat than Lavos. because there's only a couple phases to the fight, and really there's one strategy of just punch the face. Whereas Lavos has some not so great things we gotta do. Also, awesome epic scene of Frog opening a cave with a sword. It does us the solid of taking us directly through the cave and not into, like, the little transition area. It's nice. Alright, so to give clarification as to why we're doing this as well, in order to get up to the Kingdom of Zeal, where we have the Masamune, which was the Ruby Knife, to destroy the Mammon Machine and free the Kingdom of Zeal from Zeal's reign, we have to get up there. The Skyway isn't going to be open until we clear either Magus' Palace or Tyranno Lair and find the legitimate way to get to 12,000 BC. If we were going the other route, we would bypass all of that by going to Death Peak and summoning in the Black Omen directly. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to go straight through here. We're going to go through, and honestly, I also just want to visit the Kingdom of Zeal. I find it to be visually a very interesting area. Yeah, for a lot of this, Magus is going to cast a spell and everything's going to disappear. It's his castle, after all. He'll do what he wants.
You got a point there.
Yeah. We will find out, however, at the end of this, that it's not necessarily Magus who's in charge of Magus' castle at this point. It's not actually a boss rando. This is one of the few static examples of a boss. But, well, I won't spoil it for anybody. We'll see it as it comes up. Just top up, make sure our equipment is in good shape. I think... we want Punchy Boy with... No, we want Heal Boy with our safe helm. He deserves it. Punchy Boy's already got a good set of equipment. I think that Raven Armor's outclassed by Flash Mail. And that Rainbow Helm. Excellent. And Hurricane's better. Cool. Yeah, micro-optimizations on equipment are not super necessary in the randomizer, especially with how much is thrown at you. You're going to find equipment just laying around everywhere. And you also level up much faster in this than you do in the standard game. Oh, that's right. I forgot, we gotta punch these guys down, because they do not take shadow damage. It's the only one they're immune to, actually. Alright, so coming up we would be going into the Slash fight. Again, randomized bosses, so we don't know what's gonna be here. Typically, Slash is not that big of a deal. Wasn't the hardest fight to have. Hopefully he gets replaced with something pretty straightforward and easy. It's Slash. Okay. Is it Super Slash, or is it just Slash? Let's find out. Oh, he grabbed the sword off of it. I guess it's Vanilla Slash. Neat. I mean, he's gonna be dust in a minute, but neat. I wonder if we're gonna get the actual, like... No, we aren't getting the 2-phase out of him. So, typically the way that he works is that he has a 2-phase, where the first phase he'll fight you without the slasher, the second phase he fights you with the slasher. This bypasses that, so we don't have to worry about it. Hopefully, by clearing out Magus' Palace, we will in fact get enough tech points that we can use Dark Matter. Magus' ultimate ability does twice as much damage as that. At least they got a bunch of health. Slash, why are you being so mean? Oh no, he has 75, never mind. I heard the wrong number. He's done. And now we've got Uzi Punch. Z Punch is gonna make Robo do absurd damage. Also gonna be what carries us through the Lavos fight in Phase 3. Which I will explain more about that when we get there, because we're a ways off, but having a very strong physical cast is very important for that last fight, especially single target. Just for one of the bits, but like I said, we'll explain when we get there. And for the moment, we're gonna fight Flea. I don't think that's Flea. In fact, I'm almost certain it's not Flea. J'accuse. It's Yakra! Hey, Yakra, buddy. Oh, you are at such a disadvantage. So, Yakra in a small arena with everyone close to him can't do his counterattack. I think Magus is far enough away that he can do it, but I'm reasonably sure Robo and Frog aren't. Also, he does like a pittance of damage, so it's just kind of adorable. Oh, he does get his counterattack off. Interesting. But not always, apparently. Alright, we're gonna waste a frog turn, and we're gonna make sure Magus doesn't fall over. If we have to. And that's Yakra. Yakra is the first real boss you fight. He's, again, designed to be a tutorial in, like, positioning and learning how to do stuff to fight reliably. The positioning, to an extent, matters in this game, but not nearly as much as in most tactical RPG kind of stuff. There are certain tech moves that'll only affect certain areas, or if you're trying to do multi-attacks that are localized and not the full screen, that can be a thing. Alright, we're gonna go straight up the middle in this room, because unfortunately there is no line we can take that will bypass these enemies. Later on there will be a room that is similar to this that we can bypass every fight in. And that's actually because of the hubris of them building an animation in that looks really cool, but we're never gonna see. Yeah, might as well top up. We've got so many ethers. It's dog slow to put these ethers on one at a time. It's like... But, you know. The sacrifices we make for not having to spend lots of money on mid-ethers. We're gonna... We also get the gratification of tossing Ozzy into a hole later. That's gonna be fun. Because if anyone deserves to fall into a hole, it's Ozzy. Alright, these sorcerers are kind of obnoxious. They are immune to magic. They heal off of any type of magic. They also issue heals to the entire group, so the focus is supposed to be you physically focus them down, and then fight the rest of the things, but because we can kill everything in one shot, it's worth just killing the other stuff first. Minimizes the number of turns that things are alive and able to attack. Yep. They're gonna do their heals. Thinking they're being special. I think that's the last group in this room. Pretty sure it is. Ozzy's shocked we took them all out. And now for the easiest damage avoidance in the game. Just don't get hit by the blades. It's really not that hard. And now that I've said that, I'm definitely gonna get hit by one of the blades.
That's normally how it works, yeah.
Yep, there we go. Ah, yep, see? Oh, I knew I cursed at the moment I said anything. Normally you time it and you stop between those, but I thought that I could get through, and I probably should have just stopped, but it's fine. We burn some mid-tonics, and we get over it. Like everything else in this game. Alright, so these are these, like, weird sideways orientated rooms. There are a lot of these sorts of things in this game where they play with perspective a lot. Other games tried to do that, but didn't do it quite to this extent. It was a lot of the playing around you saw in Final Fantasy VI with some of those things that really pushed them towards this style of level design. But they play with, oh, this is the room. This is the room I was talking about. I'm gonna follow what is essentially just a map that I have pulled up that will allow me to get through this without falling. There we go. That room, casually, there's 6 pits in that room. They are all designed to get in your way. It is not fun. This is one of the few things I still look up a map for because I've never found a reliable button orientation and combination to hit to do it. I'm sure it's out there, yeah. All of the registration stuff I do with like specific pixel marks in certain locations. Yeah, I just can't follow through with it, so. But yeah, casually that can be one of the most frustrating rooms. It drops you into a pit where you have to fight a series of undead, and then there are 4 fake save points. 2 of them are enemy encounters of a weird, like, magical save thing. One of them is an actual save spot, and one of them will teleport you back up to that room. So, imagine doing that 6 times. It gets very frustrating very quick. But once a hole is found, it is no longer dangerous. You can't fall into it again. So, it's a maximum of 6 times. So we're gonna get through the rest of this section here. These guys are not really that big of a deal. They're just slow. Such dangerous outlaws. And we got the bombs. Another rolly bomber. They don't do that much damage. We just blow them up because, I mean, there's really nothing else we can do. I mean, I guess you're supposed to try and avoid them, but I don't want to run back and wait for it to roll past. It's actually slower to do that. Oop. Wrong button combination. Hit X way too early. X is the auto attack button. If I hold it down, it'll just auto attack as fast as possible. Yeah, we're definitely cruising along. This might actually be... I'm not going to curse this by saying this, but this might actually be a PB for my runs with this particular flag set.
That would be really hype.
It'd be incredible. I mean, I've done a lot of these seeds. Typically, they run anywhere from 2.5 to 3 and change hours. Unless you get, like, really lucky with jet seeds like this, where it gave us a lot of stuff right away. It did make us do Mount Woe, which was pretty slow. But other than that, yeah, it's been a very fast seed. And definitely out of the norm, too. You don't really see Factory that much, either. That was the intended path. In all honesty, I probably couldn't have asked for a better seed for this. Alright, this is very fortunate. This is the last room where we have to fight everything. And after that, we will be just going straight through the rest of the palace. And we're gonna mist. Yeah, the jugglers have always been this sort of like just not great thing. Their concept is really, really cool, but they end up being very clunky to fight around. Especially, oh, did we get, I think we got, oh, yeah, we must have gotten Heal Beam. So now both Robo and Frog can heal, and do a full party heal. I don't expect it to be necessary. Robo's going to be doing not Rocket Punch, Uzi Punch the entire time that we're doing any of the later fights. And Frog is going to exist to basically just cast heal and to toss ethers on Robo. What I would give right now for a set of prison specs. Make Robo hit so much harder. Even the Robo Ribbon would be great, but we also don't want to run our way through a whole bunch of stuff trying to get key items at this point. Would be counter to what we're trying to do. This is the room. You can bypass all of these checks by just running around the outside of the statue, because they built an animation that plays when the statues are activated, where it tosses out like fireballs and stuff. Really neat looking, just nobody ever sees it, because you just go around. Alright, so Ozzy being Ozzy, we're gonna punch these. This is basically just free loot pinata. Each one of those is gonna die, it's gonna give us 2 pieces of loot. Oh, just 1 piece of loot, it's giving us a pearl edge each time. They're worth selling, but they're also not great. Sometimes you get the jackpot that's mega elixirs, and then you're just good for the rest of the run. So you've got your oh crap heal just right there. I will say, we are in really good luck as well that we found both versions of Flea right away. So Flea is absolutely terrible, as I mentioned, to fight. Flea in the Ocean Palace is terrible in what we call colloquially the twin fight. Normally it's twin golems, but for this particular randomizer, any boss that's found in that spot is duplicated. So you're fighting 2 of the boss. Golems aren't that hard to fight because you can cheese their attack patterns so they never actually attack with anything harmful. When it's something like Flea, you can get the stare done 4 times in a row, and that's just going to wipe you out every time. So we got incredibly lucky with that. One of the reasons why you sometimes want to avoid Ocean Palace. Really bad. And one of the most cinematic things in video gaming history. Especially from an era that did not have a lot of cinematic stuff. This is so creepy. It's Robo! It's a Robo-Magus. That picks a random character. Sometimes it's Robo or Luca, Marl, whatever. It's one of the characters. This fight, however, is identical to the vanilla Magus fight. So he's going to be immune to everything that is not the spell he just cast. And he's got 13,000 HP, so we're going to punch him once. It's going to give us an idea of what he is going to protect with. Water only. Okay. Let's see what our health is at before I actually cast that. We're gonna cast Heal Beam first. Then we're gonna cast Water. This is also why it's really, really nice to have two characters that can do AoE heals. In my summation, this is probably the best party. It could be argued that Chrono could be a replacement for either Frog or Robo, but it's typically the ideal party. It was fire, so we're gonna do fire. Okay, dark. That's what we want to see. Dark Bomb, Dark Mist. I should just be using Dark Bomb. It's the same amount of damage, and there's no need for AoE. It's fine. Water damage. Probably have Magus do Ice this time instead of Water too, and we'll just save Frog for AoE healing afterward. Just because the Ice 2 coming from Magus is probably going to do more damage than Water 2 will do. Water 2 is actually stronger for him. It's fine. Yeah, Magus's versions of the elemental attacks are different than the other ones in certain ways. So Lightning... We really want to see Shadow, though. That's the big focus we want to see. Darkness hurts. Oh, it's fire. Did I misinterpreted. That's my own fault. Should probably start mixing in Uzi Punch when we get the opportunity. That was fire. We're gonna use fire in retaliation. It's basically Simon Says, which takes a lot of the cinematic and like high tension out of it when you realize it's just Simon Says. So lightning. Have to have Magus use lightning. I'll save that. We should see him drop out of his regular combat soon enough. Probably in the next, like, 2 attack cycles. And then we can just start wailing on him with everything we've got. Let's heal. Ah, Soul Geyser. If it weren't for the unfortunate heal that he got off the one attack, this would have happened sooner. Alright, so now we can just start punching away. No more retaliation attacks. That should have been a Shadow Bomb, but I looked at the wrong bar. So, hey, it happens. And Dark Bomb. Yeah, that'll be the end of it. So that's the Magus fight, y'all. Again, very similar to the standard fight. It's basically identical, except the HP is raised a little bit. Magus in the standard game has 6,666 health. In this case, it's 13,000 because all of these spots scale with level. So it tries to make it that the fights are always difficult, but it kind of fails some of the early balancing with that. In the main story of the game right now, we would be being thrown into the past. Magus himself would be being thrown into 12,000 BC, after trying to summon Lavos. But here we are, 12,000 BC. We're going to fly over to this continent over here. We are going to check out both sections of the Kingdom of Zeal. Mostly so we can collect a couple little things here and there. That'll make our lives a little easier. We don't want to do that where we go back through the Skyway, because that's time lost. Alright, so we're going to pop back into this area up here. We're going to walk down this time, and walk over to this area. And we're going to use a special code that we aren't supposed to know yet, that Sleeping New is supposed to teach us. Open these books in a specific order. Also, Creepy Child just said we're going to die. Because that's fun. Everyone's freaked out. Magus is so freaked out, in fact, that he's not going to move. He's just going to stand there like a statue. Right, opening those books in order opens this fun little secret passage over here. We're going to fight 6 new, although I want to read this first before we do that. The Mysteries of Life, Volume 841, Chapter 26. All life begins with the new and ends with the new. This is the truth. This is my belief, at least for now. Isn't that really just universal truth, everybody? Alright, so we're gonna fight these new. Normally they are supposed to be a challenge, but we've got all of the magic forever, so 1 Dark Mist should settle them. If it doesn't, then this Water 2 will settle them. It didn't? Oh. I guess the Water 2 was necessary. This is why we need dark matter. So, those new are worth a bunch of tech points. It's one of the reasons why we do this. 90 tech points is important. Also, we get a magic tab from this. Yeah. Magic tab and a speed tab. That was one of the reasons why we went there. I wanted those 90 tech points pretty badly, because we still need dark matter. We're almost guaranteed to get it through Ocean Palace, but I'd rather get it sooner rather than later. So, now we're going to the other Kingdom of Zeal area, through this wonderful little Arctic tundra. I do think this is probably the most visually interesting area in the game, and it is a shame because you only get to see it for a little bit. I remember as a kid reminiscing about the idea of, like, well, what's on some of these islands we can't get to, or what's in that building over there, and you never find out. It never really goes into detail about what else is up here, but, you know, does the thing. We're going to do the same thing we did last time, so bring it in the right area this time. Grab this. Get ourselves a heal. And hit that. That's going to open up this section over here and give us a white rock, I believe? Either the white rock or the black rock. Can't remember. We're picking that up on the off chance that it has haste on it. So white rock. Not going to bother with it because we don't have any ladies in the party. Because white rock teaches play as a dance. And is only usable by the women of the party. However, Magus, Robo, and Frog, you know, don't fit that quality. Alright, so we're going to pop up here into the Palace of Zeal, where we're going to avoid running into a whole bunch of stuff that's just kind of in the way. Because we are here of the by the right means, we have the Masamune, which can act as the Ruby Dagger, and we did all the other prerequisites. Oh, is it actually Dalton? Oh, we're fighting Dalton Plus. Cool. So this is French Vanilla. Dalton is the guy you would normally fight. Oh no, we fight the golems here. I know you fight Dalton somewhere, I can't remember where. No, I think it is here. There are actually two fights that happen in this room. One's the Golem, one is Dalton. This is the one you're supposed to fight when trying to recover the Epoch before it gets wings. Or technically after it gets wings, but it's before it's yours, so... whatever. It don't matter. We're gonna punch him. Punch. Dalton thinks he's dangerous, and he is not. It's theorized by some that Dalton and Scala were intended to be playable characters at some points, just based on the number of sprites they have, but it's never proven. They also found there are additional character slots in the menus that were locked out. So the thought was initially there were going to be 9 characters instead of 7. Again, this is all unverified. It's based on stuff they found in the ROM after breaking it down. But little things like that. The animations for Dalton are substantially more than most of the other bosses, because he's a real character, as it were. Greenblade's still not more useful than what we have. Alright, so we've beaten Dalton. He's gonna go escape down to the Ocean Palace. And we're gonna follow him. Ocean Palace is the last major palace last major fight thing we're gonna do this run. If this goes quickly, we're looking at probably like a 220, 225, something like that for a clear. I don't think it'll be quite that quick, but that's kind of where I'm heading with this, I think. So, substantially under my initial estimate, which is nice. Alright, Jin and Barghest. Means we've got to attack the Barghest. Because the Barghest has a shield that's protecting Jin. So once it goes down, we can then punch the Jin, break the shield, and take the Jin down. Yeah, the fun part about this game is they really took the time to make sure the characters and enemies interacted in a way that was interesting and unique for each. This is not a fight we actually need to do, but we're gonna run away. Yeah, you know what? We got fire, we're just gonna do it. Red Scouts may be the most, well, any of the Scouts may be the most annoying enemies in this game. Not based on what they solely do, but based on what they do when there's a group of them. Their color indicates what they are weak to. So a red scout is weak to fire, blue scout's weak to water, regular scout is weak to lightning. The thing is, if they're hit with an element that isn't theirs... Oh hey, we got dark matter. Awesome. If they're hit with an element that is not theirs, they will counterattack with an AoE spell. I don't think I need to explain. That's not great. Oh wait, that is the... My routing through this room has gotten terrible as of late. There's lightning. Care this. But yeah, so when you have enemies like the Scouts, if you have all 3 of them in one combat, you really can't use AoE magic until you've taken 2 of them out. In a later fight, there's actually 6 of them in one fight, and of 3 different colors. Yeah, my routing was incorrect for that. I've got to retool that. I had to de-rust a little bit for this run. And that's one of those things that I didn't really de-rust because I got Black Omen like 3 times in a row. Barghest. Also comes Barghest. In the original game, this is really a sort of the cinematic build-up to the climax of the game. The last section before what is essentially post-story. Some might call the Epoch Gathering not quite post-story yet, but it basically leads into that. You do this, then the Blackbird, and then you're just doing the thing. There is no Blackbird access in this game, It was just kind of impossible to mesh it in cleanly, so they didn't. Which is kind of fine, because the Blackbird is always really, really annoying. Really just going and finding stuff and leaving and then having a boss fight, so it makes sense to just kind of avoid it if you can. More silver studs, no gold studs. Disappointing. Like the outside like that, and in we go. Avoid those things. We're also going to pop over to... Well, this side, we can't really avoid this fight. There's no line that'll take us through that won't trigger it, which is unfortunate. Let's do Dark Matter. I just showed the thing that we haven't been able to use because we haven't had it unlocked for the entire game. Magnus doing 1,000 damage to each one of them is not bad. Not bad at all. And these creatures are particularly strong against magic, so... Again, the Dark Matter's not necessarily the biggest game changer, but it does make things better. Only getting one of those is not bad. I'm gonna punch him. Frog is actually cleaning up pretty hard. Alright, so this next section, we can possibly avoid this by being quick, but we were not. I made a mistake there, so we're gonna have to do this fight. Just means we watch the Dark Matter animation and then we move on. Alright, this is the section where it might look like it's soft locked, but I guarantee you it's not. It'll just take a second. Oh, he didn't do the thing! Awesome! Between the second and third enemy, sometimes he just takes like 15 seconds. Can't tell you why. He just doesn't throw the thing and doesn't spawn in the enemy. Eventually he always does, but it just takes an extra couple seconds. That's some weird off-cycle thing. Okay, we're gonna avoid these because nobody wants to fight these things twice. We're gonna save that shelter. I don't feel like using it right here. I want to use it for the next boss fight. Or might save it for... No, we've got ethers and mid-tonics. We don't really need to save it for Lavos. Also, we've got 4 Mega Elixirs, so we are super good to go on actually healing during the Lavos fight. Alright, scooters. Let's toss out lightning. We'll just take the 2 retaliation attacks. And we'll take care of that with the heal. The retaliation attacks are also very slow. One of the reasons why we try to avoid doing that as much as possible. Good old Robo Punch. Robo is just the punchiest boy. Wow, you took one down in one hit. That's actually kind of impressive. They have pretty high physical resistance. Which again, makes the thing kind of a terrible thing to do to an enemy that has to be killed with physical. Or with its own specific magic type, but when you're fighting the 6 of them, you have to kill 4 of them without magic.
Ugh.
Yeah, so it just slows things down artificially, or you deal with a bunch of retaliation attacks. They're not doing enough damage to really matter that they're doing retaliations, other than it's slow. And it's inconvenient. That fight is the one after this, so we'll see it momentarily. Let's do Dark Matter. And attack the Artist. No, actually, that'll break his shield too, so that was just the fastest way to do it all. No, that's the one after this, sorry. These elevators are... It's always hard to remember what order they come in, but it is one of those guaranteed fights. They did normalize these for the randomizer, so for race purposes, all of them will always generate the same. And it's always the 3 fights, because normally in the game, I believe you can only do... You can have it draw between 3 and 4, or between 2 and 4, something like that. Don't know off the top of my head, but I know that they fixed it in this so that it is always consistent. Randomize everything, make other randomized elements more consistent. Always fun. Yeah, this is the scooter fight. Alright, so we're gonna take our time real quick. Gonna leap slash down. Fire one. Uzi punch the other fire one. Then do ice. Still faster than doing all of those retaliation attacks. Scooter, I swear if you put Magus to sleep, I'm gonna have words for you. Should be one down. Yeah, Magus' auto attack now is just not doing enough damage to really be worth it. But, I mean, it's kind of what we expect. He is a mage after all. Yeah, Ocean Palace took longer than I thought it was going to take. We're right near the end of it, by the way. We've got one more boss fight in here, and then we've got also 2 more regular fights, 1 more boss fight, which is the twin fight, and then Lavos. And then we'll be good to go. Just give a full heal on everybody. Good enough. It's very important with this triple scooter fight that we take one of them out with the first attack, or they will do some really unfun stuff. Yeah, they have a specific attack they do. If you attack them and don't kill any of them, they'll do what is basically Delta Force. It's a triple tech that Marley, Chrono, and Frog learn that does all of the elements. So we're just gonna see. There we go. Alright, so that's popped up, and we got one more switch to flip. One more scooter fight that is identical. Then we'll push a button, magically lava will separate, and we will save and do a fight. Yeah, we're gonna just leap slash the middle one until Robo's got an attack. Alright. That's what we want to see. So those are cleared. Let's go push that button, y'all. Smash that button and separate a bunch of lava. Did I not hit the switch? What the heck? That's down. Did it not flip the switch? Eh. It didn't flip the switch. That must have been my fault. I must have just forgot to hit it, maybe? I thought I hit it. I swore I hit it. That's fine. Alright, so there we go. That should be down. Good. It's down again. Let's make sure we hit the switch this time so I don't have to do that again. Think of it as metaphorically clicking a bell. And smash this button over here again, and it should part. There we go. Alrighty, now we're on to the twin fight. The twin fight is, it could be very good, it could be very bad. Oh, hell yes, a haste helm. Alright. So, that happened. I am very happy with that. Haste helm means that our Robo now has perma-haste. That is the best item in the game, bar none. Even in the base game, that haste helmet is just incredible. Okay, let's just... Everyone's topped up. These are mid-tonics for this. Those mid-tonics we bought way back at the start, we have one left. So we bought just enough. That's always intensely satisfying when that happens. We're level at... Oh, we're at 36. We're, like, way good for Lavos. Oh! Okay, we actually we lucked out real hard with this. That's Robo's girlfriend. She is really not that hard of a fight. So, we can just Dark Mist down, and she's just gonna follow her. We got really lucky. The twin fight can be very, very bad. Again, Double Flea is also is really terrible in this spot. These characters do have a lot of health, so we really do want to just knock them down as fast as possible. But really, it's not that dangerous. Alright, so... It's really just gonna be this. We're just gonna cast Dark Matter, we're gonna punch. Thankfully, she's not healing that much when she does that. Alright, that's one down. This is basically just the standard fight, so we're in great shape. If I remember correctly, that laser does kind of hurt. Yeah, it's not the weakest thing, and two of them can be very dangerous if you get them back to back and we don't do heals. But we're totally fine with this. This should be the end of it. Last sequence, we didn't need to heal, but I'm going to because it just seems like a better idea. Better safe than sorry, as it were. Oh, we are outside of PB territory at this point, so didn't quite set a PB, but I did definitely do a quick seed for y'all. Lavos himself doesn't take all that long to get through. The last fight can be a little hairy, though. I am a little disappointed we didn't get to see the boss golem. Boss golem is by far the funniest fight in this game. It happens when you're on the Blackwing. When you're fighting Dalton, he summons in a boss golem, and it just gets scared and runs away because it doesn't like heights. And you are fighting on the side of a wing of a plane. It seems like a bad place to have a fight, but you know, it's just like, nope, I'm out. Alright, going into Lavos Phase 1, y'all. We are here and ready to go. Thankfully, we're also we don't have to do all of the refights. That was removed from this because nobody wants to do refights. They take forever. Especially, based on how far in the game you are, determines how many refights you have to do. So as it goes on, the fight gets longer and longer. We use the Masamune to stab the Mammon Machine. And bad stuff ensues. Alright, this is going to look very similar to what we normally do, in that we are going to Leap Slash, we are going to cast Dark Matter, and we are going to cast Easy Punch. Welcome to the rest of this combat. It's basically going to be this, other than some small changes here or there based on which part of the fight we're doing. And Easy Punch. Dark Matter. We'll also have Frog tossing out heals every now and then. That's going to be his primary job, is that and casting Ethers on Robo, because Robo does not have a Silver Stud. But we also want Robo doing as much damage as possible, so the Silver Stud does not make sense to put on him. So I got the Power Seal on him. Yep, and they're all asleep. Our lack of protected status might be a problem if we can't clear out the third. If we don't start the third fight strong, the lack of protection might be a problem. But I don't think it will be. Also, we get a save after this, so if we have to do 2 and 3 again, it's fine. But I don't think it's going to happen. Frog with the clutch heals. Megaton arm, -3. Yeah. All that work, we got a useless item. Alright, welcome to the last save of the game, folks. Grab that. We are going to toss on our last remaining shelter. We are going to look at our Mega Elixirs. We've got 1 Elixir and 4 Mega Elixirs. That should easily carry us through the rest of these fights. Frog is going to use those Mega Elixirs when we are close to swapping phase. Because we're entering Phase 2 right now. Phase 3 to go straight into it, so we want to try and get that Mega Elixir off before we transition into the third phase. Because we need all the physical attacks we can possibly get on one of the bits at the start of that, so. With this, we are focusing down 1 arm at a time and then punching the center because we can. I say we, I mean, Robo and Frog are doing that. I guess it's just going to cast Dark Matter. One arm down. Definitely want to heal off now. We don't want to lose Ribo. As soon as I get the opportunity, I'm going to check on what Lavos' health is, just to get a feel for it. Again, this is just kind of nice to have. We need to wait for him to do Obstacle, primarily because that's when we can start actually damaging the center. Around 10,000. Shadow Slay poisons, but it's not going to do anything else, so we're fine. $700, bad. Toss a heal out. Dark matter. We've done about 3,000 of dark matters, and that should be 100, so we've got one more cycle of these two. And Frog's going to toss out a Mega Elixir after the next big attack. Yep. Yeah, that's a pretty vicious attack. This should be enough. Yes, okay. We are in the next phase. That worked out beautifully. We are full up on health and MP. Well, mostly full up on health. But the big thing is we've got 4 Uzi punches out of Robo to start off with. That's exactly where we want to be. Welcome to Lavos 3, y'all. One of the worst tricks this game plays on casual players is y'all think the center bit is the most important when it is not. It is the bit on the far right that is most important. It's actually his core. So, a little bit of that little deception kind of thing going on. We are going to attack that physically. We are going to do a... Oh, wrong one. Fine. Doesn't matter, we've got enough damage that we should be able to take this out. Uzi Punch is doing enough that I think we should be able to pop it with just that. No! Okay, so, fine. Things haven't gone pear-shaped yet. It'll take a second. Okay. Uzi Punch. We are going to do really heal. Pop everyone off. The middle bit's going to start doing a lot of damage, but we want to make sure that the side bit loses its defense before we start really wailing on him. Physical. Yeah, we are in for a bumpy ride, y'all. We're gonna burn another Mega Elixir. Our main goal right now is to get that center bit down and start doing some damage to the side bit. Although the bit revival is probably going to be really quick once this hits, so... Come on, Dark Matter, take it down. Puts us in the safe zone for a minute. Okay, cool. Perfect. Yeah, I knew the bits were going to be back immediately. That's fine. They take a little bit of time to ramp up. And we're going to do another Leap Slash. We're going to hit the right target this time. So Leap Slash and an Uzi Punch will take it out. There we go, now we're in the right cycle. Wait, why is it not dead? Oh. Okay. It's fine. We can recover from this. We can do another Leap Slash, another Uzi Punch, that'll take it down. There it is. Okay, good. Yeah, that was a clincher right there. Just a little bit. Okay, he can't Uzi Punch, but we can definitely pop another Mega Elixir because we definitely need it. Yeah, sorry, commentary is a little hard to do while trying to not lose this fight. You'd think higher level would be beneficial, but it actually does make some of these fights harder. Just based on the amount of health that it gives the enemies. Okay, we are in a great position now because the bit hasn't actually restored its defense. It's still on the lost defense from the first time it revived. So what it's going to do is it's going to restore its defense, then lose its defense, and then it's going to actively start the rezzing process, so it hasn't started yet. Which means we should have a bunch of time to just wail on this thing. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Yeah, we're gonna risk it on this fight, and we're gonna just continue to focus down the bit, even if it does another revive. There we go. That is time, y'all.
GG.
There we go. That was a little more tense than I wanted it to be at the end there, but yeah, that's good. Excellent time. Yeah, thank y'all for having me, by the way. Just so y'all know, I am GrayGooGirl. I do streaming 3 nights a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and on Sundays during the morning. Yeah. If you're interested in seeing more randomizer content, that kind of stuff, that's what I do. I typically run randomizers during the week, and then I run free play stuff on Sundays.
Yeah, definitely be sure to check GrayGooGirl out. A great streamer.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else you want to touch on?
No, I mean, other than going through, we could, if you want, we can go through the ending here. It's one of the Millennium Fair kind of thing ending, but other than that, there's really nothing else to it.
Yeah,
I think
it's only like
fine.
Yeah. I want to thank you so much for being on, for showcasing the game. This was a really fun randomizer.
Yeah, I'm glad I could show it off. Oh, I did want to say one last thing. Jets of Time Randomizer, if you are interested, I highly recommend picking it up. It is approachable. There's a wiki. It'll teach you some of the stuff you need to learn to balance it. But yeah, I want to plug that.
Yeah, is that, is there a Discord for that or anything?
Let me see if there's a Discord for it. I'm not part of it, but I do know that the Jets of Time has a website you can go to. It's just ctjot.com. That's the website for that. From there, you can get any of the other information you might need. Their wiki has, like I said, a ton of information. Oh, they do have a Discord. So, yeah. We just drop that link then in. Yeah.
And, again, thank you so much for showcasing everything. With that said, we don't have anything for you today, but if you did miss out on the first run we had, Wolfenstein, Youngblood, or the start of this randomizer, right after we close, we're going to replay it for you so you can watch it for all from the beginning. Thank you all so much. Have a great night, everyone. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. Today, we are going to be doing a bonus stream of Frost Fatales 2024. As a reminder, if you missed out on any of that, you can go look up all of the VODs over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GamesDoneQuick. Before we get into our stream today, just a quick reminder, Games Done Quick will be at PAX East 2024. We'll be holding a speedrun marathon live at PAX East